I'm pretty sure if this guy continues landing like this, he's gonna end up destroying his bike. You can't lie, it is quite impressive that he's able to get the golf ball through the gap each time, especially the fact that it's getting smaller and smaller, but it is quite funny that there's so many dents in the door.
Okay.
I didn't even know they made helicopters so light like this, so you can actually push them to where you want to take off. It must be so cool knowing when you're bored or whenever you want to, you can just get in your helicopter and fly to places where people rarely go. I don't know how, but this single clip has somehow convinced me that I need to get a pet pigeon. It feels so weird seeing a bird casually laying on someone's lap like this. I really did not enjoy watching this clip because it made my brain go into overtime and I still have no idea what I'm looking at. I feel like the person who made this should go to jail for at least 10 years for making this monstrosity. You know you're about to watch a really funny video when the two people in it can't stop themselves from laughing.
You good? Alright.
I can't even imagine the amount of time it must have took to finally get this shot. You know your house is next level dirty when a raccoon breaks in just to clean your sink.
Pad added this and started cleaning.
There's no way this guy doesn't have some sort of springs in his shoes. Imagine being the guy on the second deck of a bus and you're wondering why it stopped and there's hundreds of people outside coming on. He really made 3 defenders fall over all in the span of 10 seconds.
I thought you were in good, not bad.
I don't know much about handball, but even I know this guy cooked way too hard. This doggo is called Maggie, and I think she might be one of the most focused dogs in the world. Despite her owner trying to trick her with some fake shots, she never takes her eye off the hockey puck and she saves it with ease. I honestly don't know which one is better. The touch was clean, but the shot was also equally as clean. That doggo is so lucky that the woman doing kiteboarding knew exactly what she was doing. If anyone wants to know, this is how they remove water in the holes on golf courses, and I didn't realise it was this simple and satisfying. I see this guy on my IG feed almost all the time, and I don't understand how he hits these trick shots so regularly that he can post them every single day. Even though this was a really cool trick shot, I think this guy might have overreacted just a little bit. If you've ever been around someone's house to play some games, you always get a controller that's extremely messed up, but I've never quite had one as bad as this. It's actually crazy that all this guy needed to make a slingshot was some PVC pipe, some rubber, a fishing line and a pen. It isn't even a weak slingshot as well. If this thing hit you, it would do some serious damage. I'm not gonna lie, I thought this guy was stupid for not turning, but then I realised he was on snow and it's probably really difficult to do so. The DHL delivery company posted this on their official Instagram. I always thought in Formula E they transported their own race cars from one track to another, at least in Formula 1 that's what they do. It would be kind of funny though if the company delivering this somehow lost the entire car in transit. I wouldn't even be surprised because from what I've heard, DHL doesn't have the best reputation. The egg on the Coca-Cola bottle made me laugh way too much. It's scary that it's even possible for a human to have upper body strength this strong. He's launching himself so easily into the air, it actually looks like he's on a different gravity setting. Imagine being really hungry for some watermelon, so you go to the shop to buy some, and then when you get home to cut it open, it looks like this. I honestly can't tell if they added this sound effect in editing or it actually happened. Listen to the clip and let me know if you guys think it was real in the comments. I never knew this is how we made boats, and we have people who are actually sandpapering it into shape. Even though this clip is really funny, it's quite sad at the same time that diving is such a big part of football.
Get up again. I need everyone on the field to believe that you fucking broke your leg.
Don't get me wrong, this does look kinda cool and it must have took ages to set up, but am I the only one who's slightly unimpressed by the results? This might honestly be one of the coolest videos I've seen in my life. It really scares me that people like this are free to walk around the streets whenever they want. Luckily, I've never had a bicep cramp before because they look so insanely painful. You can't change my mind though, nothing is more painful than a calf or thigh cramp, especially when it hits you in the middle of the night when you're deep asleep. If you guys made it this far into the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. If anyone knows stuff about roofing, do the tiles in the roof really come off this easily? I always thought they had to be nailed down or supported in place, but once again, I have literally no idea what I'm talking about. I can't tell if the sound of the plates hitting each other is awful or really nice. The guys who made this happen really divided the entire beach into 2 pieces. I've never seen them get this big, but it must be such a cool place to surf. I imagine this gets really boring if you do this as your job and you do it day after day. As someone who's never done this before, I feel like it'd be really fun to do this for a couple of hours, but I have a feeling it's back-breaking work. The way the guy stops the rolls of carpet unrolling is actually the biggest brain move I've ever seen. As if drag racing in a car wasn't dangerous enough, these guys are deciding to do it on a motorbike. I got really nervous because it kinda looks like his foot was getting burnt by the exhaust. This guy is actually the Usain Bolt of football. I thought he kicked the ball way too far, but he covered the distance in no time. I don't want to sound like a massive hater because this is really impressive, but I don't understand why they don't do a sport like high jump or long jump. This guy really got that 4 AM motivation and decided to go outside even though it's raining. This video was all going so perfect, but in the back of my mind I knew this was going to happen. It actually feels painful seeing protein powder go to waste like that. This guy and the gigantic engine on the back of his boat is the only reason climate change exists. Maybe my brain is just extremely smooth, but it actually took me a couple of seconds to realize they're not hitting anything. I did not expect that guy to be behind the camera. I see this guy on my For You page way too often, and his way of training boxing is really unique. Almost everyone in the comments is flaming him, but at least he gets outside and does some exercise. When you think about it, it's actually crazy how an animal this small can bite through trees and eventually topple them over. A cool thing about beavers is that if they don't grind their teeth down on trees like this, they will eventually overgrow and become really painful.